Hi, it's Barb Avila, and I thought I would take a moment just to share with you a little bit more about the Curiosity to You and the 4 weeks to Calm the Chaos series that we have been doing this media blast about. Christy and I have known each other for many, many years, and we have come together to put together this information for teachers primarily in this one, but I'm going to be honest with you, the tip sheets that we have developed and created are going to be really helpful for teachers of children of any age, and then also parents, because the tip sheets have the first part is a description that we call developmentally speaking. So both Christy and I know development extremely well, and especially in those early years. A lot of the behaviors that we hear about are typical in development. And for people to have a better understanding of when it happens and why in typical development, and then why sometimes when a child has a disability, whether it's a cognitive disability or a speech and language issue, that sometimes those behaviors, you see them kind of hang on or have this resurgence later. Those can be really good. That can be really good information for us on how to address that behavior. So the first part of every tip sheet has that section called developmentally speaking, where you learn a little bit more about what happens in typical development and then how to address those things. So the next part on every tip sheet goes into the steps to decrease that challenging behavior. So again, there's 6 of them. You have 2 for free, so anytime you want to, you can download those. And then there's 4 more that you do pay for. It's the cost of, we've decided like 3 lattes, $14.97. So anyway, and that gives you 4 weeks of 4 new tip sheets. And the tip sheets, every single one, the first step is to look at medical reasons for a behavior. So we give some examples, we give some ideas for you to be thinking about what are some medical reasons that could be happening that are behind that behavior. So to make sure you think about that first. Then we talk about the next step is to observe and collect information. And depending on the behavior, that takes a different direction for what you need to observe, what information you need to collect. The next one, which I feel like is very unique to ours, is that we talk about calming the storm. You've heard me probably talk about that on Facebook, but I'm really excited about this. Every behavior approach out there talks about prevention, which is extremely important, and then how to teach an alternative behavior. Also extremely important, but you know what? Life happens. We all have our own storms, and so this is we give tips on how do you calm that storm in that moment, rather than just assuming that we can focus on prevention. So when a kiddo is clearing the classroom and safety is at stake, what do you do to calm that storm right there in the moment? So that's step 3 on every behavior that we do discuss. And step 4 goes into how can you modify the environment to make sure that this child is less likely to have, or these children, if you have multiple children in your classroom, what are some things you can modify in the environment so that that behavior is less likely to happen? Step 5 is always checking in with yourself. So common triggers that we all experience based on different behaviors. So for example, when a child swears in your classroom, you're going to have different triggers for yourself and different ways that you might consider calming yourself than if a child is biting, hitting, etc. So some of the other ones that are screaming. So different triggers, different ways to calm yourself. That's always number 5. Number 6 is redirection. So how can you redirect a behavior that is, so swearing, for example, is a hard one to redirect. So we give you very specific examples of things you can do to redirect that behavior. And then celebrate success. Of course, we always want that reminder. So that is step 7 in all of our tip sheets. So different ways to celebrate success. So that when the child does use alternative behaviors, for example, you know how to celebrate that. Step 8 is always assume positive and functional intent. So assume intent. Bottom line. So we feel strongly that children do well whenever they can, and that it is our job as guides to try and figure out how to bring out the more positive intent that these children might have. Step 9 is planning for success successful interventions so that you have a higher probability of on-task behaviors or behaviors that feel good for everybody, child and classroom or home. And the last one is a reminder to always practice in multiple environments and to share the tip sheets with other people in a child's life so that you can have ideal consistency and for the fastest results. So anyway, so those are the 10 steps that we have on every tip sheet, but they're going to vary a little bit based on the behavior. Sometimes a lot, actually, because swearing, for example, was very different for us to write than biting, like I mentioned, or for screaming. So, and dropping to the floor and saying no. Those are all of them. So they're all really different from one another. So please download them today, the free ones, and then sign up for the 4 weeks. We have a few little bonus things that we're working on for people who sign up this go around, because it is new for us to try this out. So the more feedback you give us, the more that you're willing to sign up and sign other people up, the more we're going to produce for you. And we have so many ideas, so please sign up